The story of the Absolute Wonder Woman continued this week with the release of Absolute Wonder Woman number 10. Diana of the Absolute Universe has a very different background to her mainline counterpart. She was taken away from her fellow Amazons at birth, cast into hell at Zeus's decree, and raised by the witch Circe. You'd think that growing up in this awful environment would dampen her spirit, but if anything, it made her light shine brighter. Diana was kind, compassionate, and made everyone's lives better just by being in them. When Gateway City was attacked by demons, Diana escaped from the underworld to defend it. In the process of defeating the monsters, Diana made some friends, as well as some powerful enemies, like Veronica Cale, the director of the mysterious Area 41 facility. Among Cale's employees was the gaseous Dr. Poison. Well, I say she's an employee, really she seems to be a prisoner who labours under Cale and isn't particularly happy about it. So much so that she staged another attack on Gateway City to get Wonder Woman's attention, and then proceeded to tell her all about the labyrinth underneath Area 41 and how it housed an Amazon. Diana used her magic to open a doorway to the labyrinth, eager to be reunited with one of her people, but learned that the supposed Amazon was actually the Atlantean Queen Clea, and she was not quite as friendly as Diana had hoped. No, instead she had sent her legion of menfish, or fishmen as they prefer to be called, to capture a young siren named Petra, but she had a defender, a minotaur named Ferdinand, who made very short work of them. When Diana met the pair, she wasn't sure what to make of this hulking beast beating up dim-witted fishmen, so she stepped between them and wrapped her lasso nemesis around him. The fact that it caused him no harm told Diana everything she needed to know. Remember, this lasso has a unique ability. It doesn't force you to tell the truth, but it certainly reveals a truth about you. If you end up wrapped in it, you will have the pain you've inflicted on others reflected back onto you. So Ferdinand was clearly a virtuous soul. So that's why I was absolutely outraged to see Ferdinand pelted with arrows by the fishmen's trebuchet. Alright, I'm overstating just a little bit, but oh my heart. This scene wasn't intended to break my heart, at least not primarily. No, it was designed to show us Ferdinand's heroism. He purposefully put himself directly between the trebuchet and Diana and Petra, willingly sacrificing himself to protect them. Further proof of his heroism as if it was needed. Now, I'm pretty certain he survived the attack, given that Queen Clea told her minions to imprison him if he had survived, so I'm confident that he will return at a later point and kick all sorts of butt. However, Ferdinand's sacrifice gives Diana the time to flee with Petra back to her sigil, where she can open her portal and drop Petra off with her friends. The only problem is that Diana is in such a rush that she didn't actually tell anyone what she was doing, and so her friends don't really know what to do with her, or even who she is. Given Diana's ability to transmogrify, I think we can all understand why they think that Petra could potentially be Diana. But rather than make the wrong decision, they choose to just get her a glass of water instead. Diana could have very easily jumped through the portal and closed it behind her, which would have fulfilled Ferdinand's wishes, but she refuses to leave innocent people behind. And through her internal monologue, she states that she's fully prepared to rescue everyone, one person at a time if needs be, just to get them out of this awful dank place. Now, this is a good time to talk about the flashback to Diana's childhood. You'll recall in the last issue that Circe told Diana it was time to meet Artemis, and I wondered if she was referring to the Amazon of that name. This issue makes it clear that she was referring to Artemis, goddess of the hunt, wild animals, and the moon. Here she presents herself as a giant panther with a blood-smeared face. Artemis says that she has come to face Diana and demands that they fight. However, Diana makes clear that she has no quarrel with Artemis, so doesn't see why they should come to blows. Despite some serious goading from Artemis, Diana stands her ground. It's at this point that Artemis figures out how to get Diana to fight, by endangering an innocent third party. Artemis turns her attention to a random tortoise and says that it will be her prey. But Diana will not let this stand. That tortoise hadn't done anything to anyone. It was entirely innocent and didn't deserve to be killed. Despite being no more than 4 feet tall and wearing ill-fitting armor, she makes her stand. Obviously, Diana cannot possibly defeat a goddess, but that wasn't really the purpose of this fight. Instead, the goddesses want to make Diana stronger, and the only way to do that is to push her beyond her limits. Despite the battering she takes, Diana still draws blood from Artemis, and proudly holds up the tortoise, who she has now named Nico, to show Circe her good work. Circe is well aware of why they are putting Diana through these labours, but she doesn't like it. Even when Circe pleads with Hecate saying that Diana is still too little, Hecate calmly states that they've waited long enough. It's now or never. She needs to be put through these challenges if she's going to become what she is destined to be, a weapon. But whose weapon? Well, that remains to be seen. The point Hecate makes is very succinct. Diana has been chosen as this weapon because she is a woman, and women, especially little girls, are often overlooked and underestimated. Why do I get the feeling that Hecate is speaking from personal experience and the treatment she and her fellow goddesses have experienced at the hands of Zeus? She also notes that Diana is a miraculous being. Someone so pure and compassionate coming from such a cruel and ruthless place is simply astonishing. In the present day, Diana continues her search for Ferdinand, but gets ambushed by a group of fishmen who throw a powerful hallucinogen at her. The Absolute Universe is no stranger to psychedelic storytelling. Just look at Absolute Martian Manhunter and the devilish fever dream that is Absolute Batman, but the remainder of this issue is pretty hectic. Diana marches straight up to Queen Clea, with her fishmen acting as little more than a nuisance to the rampaging Amazon. However, Clea does have one weapon in her arsenal. She orders for one of her captives, a scientist, to be thrown into the pit. Like any good evil ruler, Clea has a deep dark pit in her throne room that leads to something nasty. Diana demonstrates her heroism by diving after the scientist to make sure that she saves his life. At the bottom of the pit, they find some wildflowers, potentially the source of the hallucinogen, and a very angry looking dude with a massive hammer. Who this is not clear, but he doesn't look very happy to see Diana. Given her intoxicated state, it wouldn't surprise me if things weren't quite what they seemed. Looking at his speech bubble, I can only make out the first two words, I am. The rest is too obscured for me to make out. Any thoughts on what he might be saying? If he lives in a pit filled with hallucinogenic plants, I bet it's not nice, but you never know, he might be saying, I am really pleased to meet you, let's be best friends. Probably not. Absolute Wonder Woman 10 is available now from all good comic shops. If you are based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's biggest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in the pinned comment on this video. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, those Commandy and Jonah Hex comics turned up this week and my wife is furious. You may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have an affiliate link with them, which you could use to help my channel out. This is also included in the pinned comment. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? I thought it was pretty funny how Barbara Minerva and the Candy Sisters unanimously agreed that Petra was Steve's responsibility because he noticed that she looked a little thirsty. Poor Steve, no one respects him. Presumably the scientist that got thrown into the pit came from Area 41, but I wonder what he did to earn Veronica Cale's wrath. Leaking information to the Omega Men? Failing an important experiment? Microwaving fish in the break room? Maybe we'll find out next time. And how long until we see Ferdinand again? I have a feeling that he's going to trample all over Clea and her fishmen once he gets his second wind. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time. Alright, I am absolutely certain that there aren't any Absolute comics coming out on Wednesday the 30th of July. I've double checked the solicitations and there's nothing. So, I will be back on the first week of August to talk about Absolute Superman 10, which features a smouldering Peacemaker helmet on the front cover. Will Chris Smith meet his end? Maybe. I will also be talking about Absolute Green Lantern 5, where Green Lantern Joe faces off with Black Star Hal, while Hector Hammond picks through the ruins of Evergreen. Hope to see you then.